G'day campers, Justin the Wayward Aussie. Today I'm over at Expedition Superstore and our friends from Deck have brought their Chevy in for us to help them out with an install of a Peregrine Pro 6-arm awning. We chose the 6-arm awning for this particular build because we wanted to go all the way around the back to maximise that coverage over the deck drawer system that's already installed on this truck. Today we're going to use a couple of new parts that you guys haven't seen before. Let's open these up and have a good look at what they are. So this is the new part you guys haven't seen before. This is the Kabari XL Kabari 3.0 tent awning bracket kit. Let's have a look at what's inside there. What this is going to allow us to do, it comes with hardware and it comes with 2 brackets that look like that. And what that allows us to do is actually to mount the awning directly to the side of the tent body itself. So that means you're not trying to tuck brackets underneath. This actually mounts it right there to the side. So there's a bolt that picks up from the bottom, and then you've got bolts that pick up from the front, and that means the awning bracket can sit on these front holes. What this box does is allows the spring rods. So when the Kabari tent opens, the Kabari 3.0 and XL, it's got spring rods that pop out from the sides and from the back. When you go and mount the awning on, those spring rods are going to get caught. So if you guys have played or seen before, it's really hard to get it to maneuver in around the back. So what this little guy does is has a couple of plates and some specially adapted spring rods. And that allows the spring rods to still function well in behind the awning because it puts the spring rods up and away. So again, we're going to come in and get some close up of this in a second. That bolts it down and then it puts the spring rod bracket at the top. So now when the tent opens, the spring rod fits above where the awning fits. So even though this mounting brackets for the awning comes with the required hardware to mount the awning brackets to the tent, you're still going to need some of the original hardware. So I've got the original nuts and bolts, brackets and bits and bobs, and I'm going to show you what the parts are that you're still going to need, because you still need some parts from the original bracket kit to make your awning function. So what we don't need anymore is the awning bracket. Okay, we don't need that. Actually, we don't need any of the awning brackets out of this box. What we do need is the tie straps. And we need the hardware kit. It's going to come out of the bag that arrived with your awning itself. So it doesn't matter what brand of awning you're going to fit, you still need the hardware for that. And in there are your nuts and bolts. And the ones in specifically that we're actually going to need are the ones that slide into the rear track of the Peregrine awning. So you're going to need those ones, and we're going to need 4. So we're going to use 2 brackets to bolt this to the side of the tent. So we're going to need 4 bolts, pick up 2 of those points, nuts, washers, spring washers. So that's the hardware that we're going to need out of the original kit that's going to allow us to attach the awning to these brackets. And with the kit that comes in the awning bracket kit is going to attach the brackets to the tent itself. So this is the bolt kit that comes with the awning brackets. It has this little T-bolt. It has a button head bolt, a washer, and then a spring washer. And how these are going to go is that's going to go through the bottom with a spring washer on the top, flat washer. That goes up through the base. And then that little bolt is going to, or the nut, I should say, that's going to slide into the base of the tent. So we're going to do that 3 times. We're going to pick up this bolt, and that spreads the load across the side and the base of the tent, so it keeps it nice and firm from the tent doing this. Okay. So the bolts we need to pick up is there's a track that comes underneath here. So we're going to drop that into the track, and then we're going to drop the next one into the bottom track, like that, and another one on the top, And the secret to this is to make sure that you leave a little loose because we want it fairly close to the back, but we want a little bit of adjustment until we get it all the way in position. So now we've got our bolts in place. Then we're going to go and get our bracket. We're going to be able to bracket into the bolts. So we're at this end. Before we get too carried away, our bracket's now in position. It's kind of firm, but we want to put our plate on to put that spring rod up out of the way. So that's going to involve us. We've gone ahead and removed the first bolt already, but we're going to move that one out of the way. And we're going to reuse the hardware that comes in the kit. And we are going to pop the bracket in for the new one, which is going to put that spring rod well clear of the tent body itself. And again, we're going to leave this a little loose so we can make some adjustments to it later on. You can see the spring rod is now going to sit way up away from the awning, so it's going to be easy for you to put that spring rod in. So now we've got the brackets all lined up. We've got our plate in place for the spring rod relocation. Now we're going to pop the box open for the awning. And we're going to do a bit of a test fit. And just be real careful when you open your awning that you haven't got too much of a blade. The last thing you want to do is cut your awning. Put a big hole in it. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to put our mounting bolts. They're going to mount the awning back to our brackets. And to do that, we need to undo the Velcro, remove the cardboard, and you'll see two little rubber stoppers that we need to pull out. So we need to pull those out of the way first. And you don't want to throw these guys away because we're going to need them again for later. And then we're going to pop the awning bolt head into that bracket hole. And we're going to pop that little bung, that stopper, back into position. And that is roughly where our bracket is going to go up to. So I can already see in this one, I might have to reposition the bracket that I put up there because I've allowed a little bit too much space and need the back of the awning to be almost flush with the back of the tent. Secret is to grab a tape measure, and I'm just going to measure some stuff out. So just give me a second, I'll grab a tape. So you're going to grab a friend, and I'm now going to put the awning up onto the brackets. In this case, we're going to grab Rory from deck, and he's going to help hold up the other end, just so we pop it and get it roughly lined up so we can nip it up nice and tight. So at this point, we've got it all sitting, but it's all loose. We've left it loose. We're going to do a test fit to make sure that the arm comes around and clears all those brackets, and we need to adjust it so it's just in that right spot. So don't tighten it up yet. Adjust it first, then come back and tighten up in just a minute. And now we've got it all lined up, brackets in place, we've bolted all the pieces together, and we're just going to do a final double check. We've got the tent out, and that pops in there. So it's a shortened spring rod, it's an adjusted bracket, which allows this to function, and the one on the side to function, independent of the awning. Okay, final test fit. Well, we are good. Works pretty good. Everything's clear. Awning works fine. We didn't have to fight to put the spring rods in. Tents fully deployed. Those new brackets, they work a treat. So we're going to pop all our guy ropes in the deck system. They can go in that side. Spare poles. We're good. Thanks, Deck, for letting us use your Chevy to put our new Peregrine Pro 6-arm on the new brackets that fit on the Kabari XL and the Kabari 3.0.